What's this? A letter for me.
Welcome back to another episode of Remember the Great Sports Through the Mail Thursdays. Today I've got 3 envelopes I'm going to share with you, and one is an oversized envelope, so I've got a pretty good idea who that is. I only sent out 3 oversized cards. I've already gotten one back that I shared, and I will post a link to that video with the other oversized return that I got, so you can check that out at your leisure. The first person, or first envelope I should say, that I'm going to open up is postmarked from Atlanta, and this is indeed an all-time great. Yes, very happy to get this. And this is Mr. Boyd Dowler, back on 1. And this is kind of a half success, I guess you would call it. But I included these 3 NFL program / ticket cards. Unfortunately, he did not sign the front of the card, and instead elected to sign the back of the card. So he signed 1, 2, and 3 of these Super Bowl ticket / program cards on the back, which, that's fine. I'm more than happy to take an autograph on the back of a card. A little look nicer on the front. But with that being said, I'm a little weary, but if I really want to, I guess I could send these to somebody else and ask them to sign the front. But being that Mr. Dowler signed them, I'm a little weary about mailing them out, to be honest with you. So, who is Boyd Dowler? Let's talk a little bit about him. Well, Boyd Dowler actually was the 1959 NFL Rookie of the Year. And as you can see, he was the Green Bay Packers wide receiver / punter, which I did not realize he was a punter. I knew he was a wide receiver, but I didn't know he was a punter. Well, he played at the University of Colorado. He was drafted in the 3rd round of the 59 draft, and later that year won the Rookie of the Year in 59. He was on 2 Pro Bowls in 65 and 67. He's on the NFL's 1960s All-Decade team, which is pretty impressive. He's a 5-time NFL champion and a 2-time Super Bowl champion. He actually won 2 Super Bowls, but technically he won 7, if you want to get down to it, championships throughout his career. He's also a member of the Packers Hall of Fame. He has 40 touchdown receptions for his career, 93 punts, and played in 162 games over his illustrious career with the Packers and 1 season with the Redskins. It amazes me, to be honest with you, that he's not in the Hall of Fame. I mean, we're talking about one of the best teams and one of the best players off of that team. Wide receiver, I mean, obviously you had Paul Hornung, you had Bart Starr, you had, so many other stars from that era. But this Boyd Dowler is, very commonly overlooked. I mean, he's forgotten about off of those teams. So that's why I was happy to send these tickets, with his, to have him sign. And, this is kind of a dark card. I mean, he could have signed across the white part maybe, but, this is fine. I'm totally okay with that. To get 4 successes, or 4 signatures from Mr. Dowler, very happy. This was one of the coolest successes I've gotten in a long time. I picked that card up for $1 at a card show, turned right around, and within a couple weeks I got it signed. So, pretty cool to have that. Thank you for adding those to my collection, Mr. Dowler. All right, this next one is postmarked. I'm going to save the big one for last, but this next one is postmarked from Sacramento. And it's a small or a light envelope because I only sent 2. But this is actually an autograph from Hall of Famer, Oakland Raider, Jim Otto, on 2 cards. And luckily he signed in the lighter spot of that card. Otherwise, in black Sharpie, that wouldn't have been too easy to see. But Jim Otto longtime Oakland Raider. He was the starting center for many years for the Oakland Raiders. Played at the University of Miami, so he's a former Hurricane, if I'm not mistaken. I'll confirm that in a second. Yep, University of Miami, Florida. Spent 14 seasons with the Oakland Raiders. 3-time Pro Bowler, which amazes me that he didn't play more than that, to be honest with you. 9-time All-Star. Oh, I know why. The Pro Bowl didn't exist. Duh. That's why he's only a 3-time Pro Bowler. 3-time AFL All-Star. And, let's see. Never played on the Raiders championship teams. He was retired by then. But, as I mentioned, Pro Football Hall of Famer. Played in 210 games and started 207 of those 210. So, a very long tenured player by all those means. He has openly talked about some of the things that happened to him during his career. This is a controversial, discussion. I'm not going to get into which side's right, which side's wrong. But he has openly come out and talked about his concussion issues, the injuries that he got while playing football during those 14 seasons. He's, looks like he's had joint problems, back problems, neck problems. Says he lost one of his legs at one point in his life in 2007, and the concussion. So, to say it nicely, after reading that, I kind of regret not sending him a couple bucks, to be honest with you. Mr. Otto played during an era that players did not make a lot of money. And he signed these for free for me. But I know if you were to choose to give him a donation, he would probably be glad to oblige to take that donation. So I may consider sending him another envelope with some money in it, because I didn't realize that his health had deteriorated that much. And, he's now, how old is he? Let me just take a look at this. He's currently 80 years old. So this man is still living at 80 years old, and with all these health issues that I just read about on his Wikipedia page, you might want to consider, if you do write him, to include include $5 or something like that for his time, because this is very nice of him to sign these free ones. Like I said, I may follow up and send him a couple bucks in my next envelope. So, very thankful, Mr. Otto, for getting these signed, and I appreciate you doing that. And like I said, I may send you a few bucks here in the future. All right, this last one is one of two that I still have out there, oversized cards. And it appears to be from former Philadelphia Eagle himself, Tom Woodeshick. As you can see, he signed down there at the bottom. But he also signed 2 index cards that I stuck in there to protect the oversized card. So a little bit about Mr. Woodeshick. Let's see. He spent most of his career with the Eagles. He spent 1 season with the St. Louis Cardinal football, now the Phoenix or Arizona Cardinals. Appeared in 1 Pro Bowl. Again, the Pro Bowl didn't start, so that was towards the end of his career. He was a running back that played his college ball at West Virginia. Appeared in how many games? Does not say. I'm not sure how many games he played in, but he did play for 9 seasons in the NFL. So if you multiply that, let's see, playing the Pro Bowl. One random trivia question is he was in an episode of MASH in 1970 during his playing career. So Mr. Woodeshick Very happy to add that to my collection. Old time Philadelphia Eagle. Very cool to get this oversized. I'm just going to throw the gem Otto down to show you kind of the size of the card. Put the Ottos down next to there. To show you that card is almost the size of 2 cards almost. Thank you, Mr. Otto, Mr. Woodeshick, and of course thank you, Mr. Dowler, for also signing these 4 cards. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Look forward to your comments below, and thanks for watching.